Hi guys, and welcome back. Today I got a couple of stories for you guys, but I want to just focus on the actual numbers and the potential reason why things happen for this the first story here. A Denver man receives sentence to federal prison for role in drug conspiracy. Apparently, this 31-year-old was sentenced to 176 months in federal prison for his conspiracy to distribute methamphetamine, fentanyl, and heroin, according to his plea agreement and court filing May 2019 until September 2019. He worked for a drug trafficking organization that engaged in interstate transportation and local distribution of large quantities of illegal drug sourced from Mexico. May 2019, state authorities arrested the defendant finding finding him with roughly 7 pounds of methamphetamine, as well as over $6,000 in cash. State authorities also found several firearms in his home, including one with the defaced serial number, as well as 3 grand in cash, 67 grams of heroin, and 400 fentanyl pills. The defendant failed to appear for a scheduled state court hearing, and 6 days after his arrest, he delivered a pound of 98% pure methamphetamine to a confidential informant. He then assisted the coordination of the distribution of 10 pounds of methamphetamine and participated in the redistribution of 46 and 50-pound loads of methamphetamine. These guys are moving some weight, and I believe that the feds, especially the actual DEA, wanted more money. They wanted to know where he hid his money. They wanted to know where's all the money that was being made moving all this way, and they were not satisfied with the seizures that they got from his house. 6 grand and then 3 grand are chump change. That's a quarter to the actual, 25 cents to the actual DA. They want the hundred thousands of dollars that this individual hid somewhere. Because it doesn't say no mention of his actual uh his money. So therefore I believe that he was let go with the actual intention of following the money. And how does this individual get released for this kind of charge? Could be his lawyer was a former prosecutor that seemed good with the judge and the new prosecutor. He's got his own actual law firm, or the bail bondman is somehow tied to this actual judge or prosecutor, or they wanted more money. And this guy, he hit it pretty good. He hit it pretty good if he saved any of it. So, you know, he didn't go to his court appearance, so now of course, they asked the feds for help. So, September 2019, immigrant ICE attempted to arrest the defendant on a federal warrant. The defendant's vehicle collided with police vehicle, and the defendant fell on foot, leading officers on a chase through a residential area until he was finally taken into custody. Now, this is a U.S. attorney speaking in different agencies. Someone's going to be quoting: armed drug dealers who run from law enforcement create particular dangerous threat to the safety of our community. Of course, because your agencies let them go. And then, that there was a comment to here that the FBI states that through the collaboration of the Denver Strike Force, the FBI, and other federal, state, and local partners, dismantled transnational criminal enterprises involving drug trafficking and money laundering. That's the key point right there. Right there, they want the money. And this other indictment or actual sentencing I'm going to be bringing up is going to be bringing up a lot of real numbers. So here we go. So according to the feds, a kilo of cocaine is actually going for 27,000 for a pure kilo of cocaine. That's according to them. I see a little bit high, but we'll see what happens. A Mexican national was sentenced in federal court for his role in the conspiracy to distribute more than 2,600 kilograms of cocaine. I didn't know people are doing that much cocaine nowadays. This individual by the moniker Chava or Chavita, a 27-year-old, He was actually sentenced to 12 years in prison and also ordered to pay or to forfeit $12 million, which represents the proceeds of illegal drug trafficking. And no, it's not a typo. It's a 12150,000. So if he has to forfeit, that means that they actually have actual access to that money. Wow. On December 2019, he pleaded guilty to one count of conspiracy to distribute cocaine and one count of money laundering. He is the final defendant among 13 defendants to be sentenced on this case. Okay. He was arrested by law enforcement, searched his residence, and found over 11, almost $12,000. See, that's what I'm telling you. That he admitted was illicit drug proceeds from marijuana, a drug ledger, and a loaded 9mm semi-automatic handgun. So they went off his ledger. See, they got his ledger and did the math and and give him that actual amount to forfeit. Yeah, that it was known that he was a primary organizer in a drug trafficking organization that distributed substantial amounts of cocaine from Mexico to Kansas City metropolitan area from 2013 to 2018. That's a fair amount of years, 5 years. He admitted that he was the person responsible for the distribution of well of excess of 450 kilograms of cocaine. Why would you admit to that? His involvement in large conspiracy. At one point, he distributed approximately 10 to 20 kilograms of cocaine each week. Wow, who's doing all this coke? That ain't like the 80s and 90s. He obtained a substantial amount of money from his involvement in the drug trafficking conspiracy, in which he converted to other forms of property, such as real estate, in an effort to conceal the illicit nature of the drug proceeds. He tried to be slick, but I hope he didn't just buy here in the United States. I hope he went abroad into different countries for some kind of retirement. I mean, he can be out. He's young. He can be out in 12 years. Come out and have a little bit of chunk change in a different country. But we shall see. And he received cocaine from the leader of the conspiracy, co-defendant Jose Luis, also known as Uncle or Rambo, of Kansas City, Kansas. He then sold cocaine to other dealers, including a co-defendant by the name of Walters, also known as Chris, 44, of Lee Summit, Missouri. The investigation The investigators intercepted several telephone calls in which he and Walters discussed the sale of multiple kilograms of cocaine to Walters. Also intercepted many other wire and electronic communication between the both and persons he sold cocaine to during the course of the conspiracy. Now, the actual Jose, he was sentenced this past May to 15 years in federal prison without parole, and then Walter was sentenced to 25 years in prison, federal prison without parole after pleading guilty to his role in the drug conspiracy. The court also ordered Jose to forfeit, or yeah, for Rambo to forfeit government more than $56 million, and they put 56 and the letters million, which represents the illegal proceeds from this actual conspiracy. And Jose was also charged or Rambo was also charged of was in charge of coordinating loads of cocaine from El Paso, Texas to the Kansas City metropolitan area for distribution. And Rambo would all then coordinate the collection of bulk cash that was sent back to El Paso as payment for the cocaine. Now, this other individual by the name of Otilio, 65, of El Paso, delivered cocaine to Rambo, as well as to Campo Estrada, and this other individual by the name of Miguel, 33, a citizen of Mexico residing in Aloft, Kansas City. And they also named a couple of other individuals in the conspiracy, but uh, they apparently they were people in charge of of just the money, period. So there was actually a team invest. It actually created just to. They were making so much money that just they were in charge of actually sending the money back to Mexico, and they hid the cocaine and or the cash proceeds inside of 5-gallon gas cans and antifreeze jugs on his commercial semi truck trailer. By by the truck trailer, I don't know how many millions he took back there just in that truck for the in that that semi truck. In one instance, law enforcement officers seized a $500,000 from one of the actual money launderers moving the money back, who was transferring the illicit drug proceeds in an operation orchestrated by the actual Rambo. So they were actually sending these actual semi trucks back by the ton of cold hard cash. Damn, that's a big score, you know. And this is actually a big operation, but of course, somebody got caught or somebody gave info and some good info as that. Okay, guys, don't forget to like.